I sell now or wait? It's the question I just keep getting over and over and over again. And I just wonder why. Why do they keep asking that question? Well, this might just be it. In the headlines today, all over the news, the housing market, why it might be a good time to buy, according to Compass CEO. And then there's this one, better for buyers. New data shows housing inventory favoring buyers over sellers. Oh, and then there's this one, spring housing market heats up amid mixed signals. Oh, wait, and it gets better. What does 300K to 1 million buy you in Hilton Head, Bluffington, and Beaufort housing market? And yes, it continues. California homeowners slashes asking prices by half as housing market struggles. Oh, wait, and in Florida, the housing market is turning down fast. Miami-Dade's sagging condo market could be next great crisis as values drop. And Redfin says the housing market bubble could deflate this year. And oh my goodness, the Street says housing market chief Pulte sends blunt message on Fed interest rate cut. And then over at the Australian, the housing market picks up brickwork, Soul Pat store. So what do we do? I mean, who do we believe? What happens next? Right? I mean, honestly, should I put my house on the market or should I not? Should I buy a house or not? Look, the number one question I'm getting from homeowners right now, should I sell now or wait? The answer isn't one size fits all. That's just the truth. And today I'm breaking it down with heart, strategy, and soul. So number one, what the market is doing right now, spring 2025. Well, I'll tell you, I just went over the numbers last week or a week ago, and I'll jump into the numbers for this past month in about 2 weeks. But the reality is the market is doing well. It is not let's call it, I'm ready now and it's sold with multiple offers, unless you're willing to consider pricing aggressively, like I just did on one over here in Laverne. The seller said, Lori, get it sold. We priced it super aggressive, got multiple offers way over its list price. So don't be afraid to try a crazy opportunity. It seems to work out, especially in this market with the uncertainty of interest rates and if they're going up or if they're going down or if they're doing anything at all. Maybe they're just going to sit stagnant, right? So inventory here locally is still tight, and yet there is a few houses for sale. You're not the only one anymore, sellers. And of course, buyers are buying. And if you're buying right now, buyers, the reality is if you're buying here in California, you're rich. So know that you are blessed and you can make it happen because so many people can't get into California. So that's, I think, why they say, oh, I would never buy a house in California. You just can't afford it. That's the reality of it. And overall, prices are holding, but the pace is definitely shifting. That is for certain. So look, number 2, 3 questions every seller should ask before listing their house. 3 questions every seller should ask. That first question is, why am I selling? Life, season, finances, goals. They're selling, honestly, for big reasons, right? It's thundering around them and it's time to make a change. Life is just happening. It's crazy out there and it's time to make a move. Your family passes away, it's time to make a move. There's so many reasons why people are moving right now. Next big question, where would I go next? You definitely need to know where you're going. You don't want to be homeless. So know if you have the opportunity to make that move and it makes sense for you, you got to have it lined up where the next place is. And then, am I emotionally and financially ready to move? I just had a great conversation with one of my agents earlier in our team meeting. She said, Lori, we've been planning on selling my client's house, and the neighbor a few houses down just went on the market a while back, and they just slashed the price by $50,000. This is a luxury property. And let me tell you, that made the seller who's contemplating come on the market rethink, do I really want to do this? Am I really going to sell? So yeah, you're going to sell, but you may have to rethink your budget and rework your numbers so that it makes better sense for you. You've got to be prepared that you may not sell at the price you thought. You may sell for less, and can you work with that? Because the reality is, down the road, the market may continue. The market may continue to either appreciate or not. We just don't know. So if it's the right time to sell, you'll know. We'll have a great consultation. It's the reason why you need to set that consultation. So number 3, why waiting can be costly. Future rate drops could bring more competition. Look, sellers, you think, great, they dropped the interest rate. That also means they may have impacted the market in such a way that 5 or 10 or 15 other people, families, decide to throw their house on the market and make that move. So what happened? Well, of course, now you have more competition. That's going to happen. Delaying may increase carrying costs or renovation needs. It seems like every time a house goes on the market, something breaks. I had this one listed one time. The family lived in the house for over 20 years. The buyers come in to do the home inspection, and yes, the electrical panel just cut out, no longer working. So my poor client, they immediately already had to put an electrical panel on. And, well, they thought they were done with repairs. So, look, renovations could come along. Your carrying costs of holding the property longer and longer could come along and increase. I have another seller. His interest rate is going to adjust in the midst of this, and his house hasn't sold as quickly as we were hoping. Why? He priced it top of market, trying to maximize his equity. Can you blame him? I don't know that it works, but he's definitely trying. And there's power in moving when others hesitate. Look, when everyone else is on hold, uncertain, kind of nervous, the best time for you to make your move is then, because no one else is going. And guess what happens? There'll be that family that needs your home, wants your home. And if you're the only one available, they're going to make it happen. So, how to sell smart in this market? For how to sell smart in this market, you need to prep your home strategically. That's how we can help you. Get your house ready. Know exactly what it looks like, what we need to move, what needs to be here, what needs to go away, what needs to be improved, if anything needs to be done. If you want to just sell it just like it is, You can do that. It all comes down to pricing then, right? Know your local numbers. Know what the market is doing. When I call and say, hey, what do you think your house is worth? I'd hope you knew your local numbers. Well, the neighbor just sold around the corner for X amount. And then, of course, partner with a pro who understands transition. That would be me, of course. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I came in when a market was crashing. It was just crashing upon us, and I had to learn how to do a short sell. Boy, was that interesting. Look, you don't need to rush, but you do deserve clarity. So let's talk it out, because I know as you read and review the news and you hear it and you see it everywhere, and maybe you get your news on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or on podcasts. Maybe you get it, I don't know, who knows where, from your family, realtor, I don't know. What you need to know is your hyperlocal stats. And that means talk to your hyperlocal realtor, the one who knows what's happening, the one who's in business full time and is making it through this market, because they understand that the headlines are just that, only headlines, right? That you're not, woo! Did you feel that and hear that? Wow. Yeah, that was unbelievable. The alarms are going off around us, and the market is very, very interesting. Wow. Talk about California weather, and it's heating up here. So, anyways, jumping right back into this. Look, home buyers are finding a silver lining in a stalled housing market, especially if they're in this group. Who knows if that's true? What I do know, Mr. Seller, is that if it makes sense in your life and the numbers make sense to you, then it's the time for you to move. Otherwise, just wait. The time will come and you'll know just what to do. Now, you might just be thinking, well, there's so much more to know. You're right. You should tune in to podcast episode 189. It's the perfect one to listen to complement this conversation.